For years, I felt guilty because I couldn't help the way I wanted to, right? I felt guilty when you had to do more around the house. Boy, that was hard.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah, for you also.
Well, that's not what I was saying.
No,
but
I know.
I understand. Sure.
Right. Can I ask you a question? Have you ever apologized for hurting? Maybe you've said things like, "I'm sorry, I'm slowing everyone down," or "I'm really sorry, I can't help today," or "I'm really sad that you have to take care of me." I know I did say things like that often, more times than I can count. At first, I just thought I was simply being polite. But eventually, I realized I wasn't just apologizing, I was carrying something a lot heavier. Guilt. And over time, that guilt slowly began changing how I saw myself. And eventually, it became shame. So today I want to talk to you about both of those, because understanding both can make a difference in our pain journeys. I'm joined in this episode by my colleague and husband, Jim. He's a medical family therapist who works with me as we help people in pain live lives with more purpose and less pain. We've journeyed together during my over 20 years of unmanaged chronic pain, but we've also experienced the last 9 years of my learning to manage my life with pain much more effectively.
Yeah, Debbie, when people think about chronic pain, they usually think about the physical symptoms,
Sure.
right? Obviously. You got pain, you've got fatigue, poor sleep, stiffness. But chronic pain changes much more than the body. It changes routines, right? Relationships, careers, dreams, identity.
Yes, it really does. And because it changes so much, it often creates, emotional burdens on us that nobody else really can see. The two of the biggest ones are guilt and shame. And many of us don't talk about that, right? But almost everyone living with chronic pain experiences those, right?
Yes, they do. This is a good episode. It's so important because you were trapped in both guilt and shame.
Right.
And we know plenty of others, so plenty of our clients, plenty of our viewers are caught in those same things.
That's right. So let's start with guilt, okay? So with guilt, we say things like, "I should have," or "I shouldn't have," or "I need to do more," or this one a lot, "I'm letting people down," right? And guilt focuses on our actions, okay? Or sometimes on things we wish we could do, but can't. So for years, I felt guilty because I couldn't help the way I wanted to, right? I felt guilty when you had to do more around the house. Boy, that was hard.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah, for you also.
Well, that's not what I was saying.
No,
but
I know.
I understand. Sure.
Right. I had to miss family activities. I felt guilty about that. I felt guilty about asking for help, having to rest more often.
Yeah, and that's something many caregivers see.
Yes.
People living with pain often apologize for things they never chose, right? You didn't choose to hurt.
Right.
Our viewers didn't choose to be exhausted. Yet folks in pain carry responsibility for circumstances that aren't even their fault.
Right. And it's such a heavy burden to carry. But, I want to make an important distinction, Jim. Not all guilt is bad, right? Healthy guilt says, "I made a mistake," or "I hurt someone," or "I need to apologize," right? That's healthy guilt. And it helps us repair relationships. It helps us grow. But chronic pain often creates a different kind of guilt. A guilt that says, "I should be able to do more," or "I shouldn't need help," or "I'm disappointing everyone," okay, or "making life harder for my family," that kind of thing. So that kind of guilt does not lead to healthy change. It really leads to exhaustion, right? Because the problem isn't our character, it's our circumstances, right?
Yeah, because if you think about it, and I like to use the terms little g guilt and big G guilt. So I think of little g guilt as healthy guilt. It's the guilt that restores relationships. It's something that it's a mistake I made and I need to do something about it. It helps us grow, right?
Right.
But chronic guilt, big G guilt, that often convinces us that we're never doing enough.
Yeah, this was a really hard lesson for me to learn. Guilt doesn't just affect our emotions, does it? It affects our decisions. So when I felt guilty about saying no, and I said yes, even when I knew it was too much for me.
Yeah.
Or when I felt guilty about resting, I pushed through, as you know, even though I knew I was hurting myself. Or if I felt guilty asking for help, I instead tried doing everything myself, even if it really was beyond my ability at the time. So at the time, those decisions felt responsible. I'm doing the loving, kind thing, right? But many times, those decisions weren't really helping me. They were increasing my pain because I wasn't making decisions based on wisdom. I was making decisions based on guilt.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I remember watching that happen. I mean, your body would be telling you one thing.
Yep.
It's like slow down, pace yourself better. Don't overdo it. I mean, don't underdo it, but don't overdo it, right? But the guilt was saying a whole different thing, right? And almost every time, what? You listen to the guilt.
I did. And I paid the price for it, too. You know, one sentence I wished I'd learned a lot earlier was this one. Guilt says you should do more. But wisdom sometimes says, today, this is enough.
Ooh, not overdoing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more wisdom and less big G guilt.
Yeah. Because if guilt stays around long enough, something kind of subtle starts happening. And that's guilt slowly starts turning into shame.
Yeah, that's subtle but really dangerous.
Yeah, and it becomes much more painful to us because guilt says, I did something wrong, but shame says, I'm not enough.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you hear the difference?
Absolutely.
One focuses on our behavior, but, the other one's attacking our identity. So instead of thinking, I need help today, I start thinking, oh, I'm a burden to everyone. Or instead of thinking I'm struggling here, instead I start thinking, I'm broken.
Ooh.
Yeah. And those are not facts. They were stories that pain was kind of quietly writing for me over the years.
Yeah, and those are like horror stories.
Yeah, but I believed them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess another thing that shame does, maybe always does, right? It isolates us.
Oh, man.
I mean, we stop asking for help. We stop sharing our thoughts, our feelings, right? We stop letting people see us because shame says if they really knew me, they'd think less of me.
And the tragedy is that shame grows best in isolation.
Yeah, it kind of feeds on itself, right?
Yeah, so the less we talk about it, really, the stronger it gets. Remember recently we talked about asking the question to ourselves, well, would I say this to my best friend?
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I think this is where that question matters a lot, okay? Imagine your best friend developed chronic pain. Would you tell them, you're lazy, or you're a burden? No, of course not. You'd probably say, I'm so sorry. This must be really hard. I'm here for you. You're doing the best you can under the circumstances.
Sure.
So why was I speaking to myself in ways that I would never speak to someone I loved? Now, this next idea is the lesson I needed the most. For years, I believed that my value came from what I could accomplish, how much I could do, how much I could contribute to the family or whatever. But pain took away a lot of those things. And without realizing it, I let pain start measuring my worth.
Ooh, yeah.
But you know what, Jim? We both know that worth doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
Our value has never depended on how productive we were.
Even if we think it does.
That's right. You know, you matter because you're a person, right? Not because of your performance or things that you accomplish.
And you matter because you're a person.
Well, thank you.
not because your performance, even though you were in pain and you still deal with some pain.
Yeah. This is just something I see a lot in clients is they really struggle when they cannot do the things that they feel like they need to be doing.
And I guess it's one thing to feel sad about those things. I mean,
absolutely.
And it's another thing to maybe even feel guilt if we responded in a way that was inconsiderate or rude to others because of the pain.
Yeah.
But to start thinking that our value changes because of what we can or can't do or the pain we've experienced or the losses we've experienced. That's a whole different story, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. You know, pain is really something we experience. It's not who we are. If you've been carrying guilt or shame, I hope you'll remember this. Pain has influenced your life, but it has not defined your value. You are still worthy of love, still worthy of kindness and hope. And if today all you can do is take one profound baby step, that's enough. Not because you've given up, but because you're moving forward wisely. And sometimes wisdom is far more courageous than guilt.
And that's something we hope you'll carry with you this week.
Because you deserve the same compassion that you freely give to others. Thank you for spending this time with us. And if these videos have been helpful and you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. It helps to get the word out to more people. And remember, your pain is real. There is hope. And our goal is to help you have your pain in the rear view.